All right, so I got the Shining Fates ETB. I'm going to start off with 5 packs, see how I feel, if I want to continue with 5 more after that. Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to the Ben Askren versus Jake Paul fight. Frank Mir is also fighting a boxer on the undercard too, which I'm not excited for, but good for him. I'm glad he's getting paid. I think he's getting paid like $350,000. I think Ben Askren's $500,000. I think Jake Paul is $650,000. And then
the only part is, Mir is smart enough to like make good money elsewhere. You know, like he's been hired as a commentator, did his own podcast, has done it for enough years that like hopefully he's got some cash put away. I just don't want to see him keep getting knocked out in his 40s, man.
Yeah, I agree with that. I hope so too. He fought for so long in an era where they weren't paying a lot that my concern is that he just doesn't have that much money. Like they just didn't pay him. Which unfortunately is a possibility with the UFC.
That's a really fair point. I forgot about the old era argument.
But one thing is, though, that's interesting. I was watching some Ben Askren fights, especially from like ONE FC, and he actually has really heavy hands. In his fight against Damian Maia, he did a lot of damage to Damian Maia's face. So
that's super awkward power.
Yeah, I'm hoping that, and he like knocked out Shinya Aoki from the guard, like really easily, like pretty casually. Unlisted Leaf. So I'm hoping that can come through, and he can not just beat Jake Paul, but I'd like to see him get the finish against Jake Paul.
If he doesn't finish, if it goes to a decision with the two of them, that's where I'll be the most upset.
That's a very fair expectations. Kramer, I
want Askren to knock Paul out.
Yeah.
But if Paul knocks out Askren, I'll get on board.
Yeah.
You just gotta earn it. Askren's earning it.
Yeah, because from then on he's gonna fight an MMA striker, but I don't think he's gonna get through Ben Askren. I hope it's a finish, and I hope Ben Askren puts him away.
You know what? Now that I think about it, I just hope it's not a decision. Because if he finishes Askren, the MMA community is going to be so upset that they really will send somebody who's better.
Yeah. It's a violence pinata. It's like the Colby Covington, man. He's just going to keep fighting better and better opponents until eventually someone like Usman breaks his jaw. And then he fought, Tyrone Woodley since? I'm really bummed that he didn't fight someone like Gilbert Burns or something. Like, or even Leon Edwards. Like, I wish he would... Jorge Masvidal even. There's so many people he could have fought, and that he hasn't fought anyone since. He's fought Tyron Woodley, but Tyron Woodley doesn't mean that much anymore. I'd like to see even Vicente Luque, Colby Covington versus Vicente Luque.
I mean, and the crazy part is Covington should be the favorite for that, in my opinion.
I would think so.
You never know, though. Luque's got like...
Oh!
Wait, what did you just hit?
Oh, sorry, I didn't know you can't see the card.
Oh!
Galarian Darmanitan. That's awesome.
That one's so bad.
Yeah, that's an awesome pull. I'm stoked for that one.
That I can see your hand perfectly, but nothing on what's going on the like in your.
My bad.
Oh, he's just waiting.
Yeah, mega. Oh, the Galarian Darmanitan is awesome, though. I'm stoked about that. That is an awesome pull.
Sweet. Was that box 1?
That was pack 1, yeah.
Gotcha.
All right, now we got a Dragapult pack.
What could be in it?
And then tomorrow, the main event for the UFC fight night.
What is it?
Whittaker versus Gastelum.
did I forget about that?
Yeah, I think because Gastelum stepped up on short notice.
Yeah. It really feels like a lot of the fights they had planned fell apart and got replaced with new fights.
Yeah.
And I've been worse about, like, short-term fights, like, realizing what they are lately.
Jakar Close is in the co-main event. I got Water Energy. I forget who Jakar Close is fighting, though.
Was he the one who just took that loss to Dariush?
Yeah, he recently did, yeah.
He was doing so well in that fight, though, but I don't know why you jump on a corner Dariush.
Yeah. Are you able to look up who Jakar Close is fighting? Or look up the Fight Night card? That would be awesome. Please. Luxio. Coughing. Horsey. Grookey Gang. I love that I have the shiny Grookey Gang now. More Pico.
Yeah.
Spinnerack.
Mm-hmm.
Oh!
What is it?
Shiny Grimmsnarl VMAX.
Oh, nice.
That's awesome. I pulled that one recently, but that's still awesome to pull a shiny VMAX.
I mean, if you're going to double up on something,
yeah.
That evolution line. So.
Yeah, definitely. That's awesome. Maybe I can even compare condition to see if this one's even a better condition than the other one.
Smart.
I think now just from the VMAXs, of course the Charizard, but I really want the Toxtricity and the Centiscorch. And then Professor's Research. That's a big pull. That could be the big pull of the ETB, honestly, because that's a huge shiny VMAX.
I really wonder how they do that, man. Like,
Polar-wise?
Is it a rate? Like, hey, we put in this many out of the box?
I feel like there's usually just like one big VMAX per like shiny like card like that per ETB. There might be like an amazing rare, maybe a couple baby shinies, but
I feel like is it just coincidental based on the rates that you pull packs, or are there specifically a higher rate within ETBs?
I really don't know. I feel like there's a higher rate in ETBs, but
I also feel that way. But I'm like, have they just been trying to trick me? Because
got a lot of big hits out of the Pikachu V boxes and the tins. I personally like the tins because they feel like they're the best price per like card. Like you're getting 6 packs. They're usually even like marked up. Like they're only marked up to like $50 a tin, like a bullpen tin or something. And then, so it's still like less than $10 a Shining Fates pack, which a lot of other places have been more than that.
We got some really interesting fights on this main card, man, that I just pulled up.
Nice. Who's Jakar Close fighting in the co-main event?
Jeremy Stevens.
Ah, yeah. I think I saw that he pushed Jakar Close at the weigh-ins.
Did not see that, but that's hilarious.
Who do you think wins that fight?
Close. Stevens moved up from featherweight to lightweight after doing really good at featherweight, but just realizing he wasn't going to capture the belt. And it restores his chin. Or maybe not restores, because it's not like he's ever really had a continuously bad chin, but
yeah,
going up a weight class after having come down a weight class and having success, the rates of it are just so low. And Close really only he's got 2 losses, which one of them was to Dariush.
Yeah, and he had rocked him in that fight before he got finished.
He won it, and the only fight he's lost by knockout is against Dariush. And the other fight he's lost is against David Tamer. But it's interesting because out of his last 6 fights, he's also picked up wins against Mark Diakisi, Lando Venata, Bobby Green. And I really thought Venata and Green were going to beat him in those fights. But,
yeah, those are legit wins.
And he would have had 4 fights in a row with 3 decisions and then a KO. And it just feels like he was trying to get the KO to get in the top 10. But picked the wrong guy.
Yeah. But Neil Dariush is dangerous. He'll finish you at any moment.
Can you angle me up like a drop? Is that possible?
Is that any better?
All right, I think I'm good now.
Darkness Energy.
Come on.
Team Yell Towel. Floatzel. Luxio. Cacnea.
Nice.
Gossifleur.
Charizard.
Snom.
Come on.
Trapinch.
Come on.
Nickit.
Come on.
Reverse Shinx.
Come on.
Dreadnought.
Grimmsnarl, too much power at the beginning.
Yeah. That was a powerful pull to start it off. I'm really happy with the Baby Shiny Galarian Darmanitan. That's a fun pull. And of course I'm happy with the VMAX Grimmsnarl too.
Yep.
What's the next most interesting fight on the card?
We've got some fun ones here coming up. Next one is heavyweight. Andre Arlovsky
Oh yeah.
versus Chase Sherman.
Yes, I forgot. Chase Sherman back in the UFC. He had 3 fights in Island Fight promotions and won all of them by first round knockout, and then they brought him back in the UFC.
And then did he win his first fight by KO too?
Yeah.
Like, pretty impressively.
Yeah, so he was a fun one. He always had fun fights. He unfortunately had a couple losses there, but
because his style is just as amusing as it gets, and he's pretty technical. Like, it's not like it's horrible. It's just it feels like he's more of a Muay Thai guy and just ends up eating some shots to the head. Heavyweight, that's tough.
do you think he beats Arlovsky though? Arlovsky is usually like the gatekeeper test for young prospects, like in the heavyweight division. Do you think he beats Arlovsky?
Before I answer that, why don't you tell me what you think like the odds are right now?
I think it's like 160, like plus like 160 Arlovsky and like minus 130 Sherman.
Arlovsky's the favorite at negative 115.
Okay.
Everyone's like, pick him. Andre either decisions him or Chase knocks him out. But honestly, I think Chase has got this because his biggest weakness has really historically been people finishing him.
Yeah.
Like, he's not a guy who, I can pull it up to double check, but I really feel like most of his losses are not decisions.
I kind of think he has this one against Arlovsky. I don't know why. Normally, I pick Arlovsky, especially over the young guys, but I kind of think Arlovsky's just getting a little too old, and Sherman is putting it together finally.
I totally agree. I think that this is... I think it's his time. I also like that I'm pretty sure he's a firefighter.
Yeah.
And he also fought in bare knuckle boxing for a little bit.
Nice. Oh yeah, I remember that actually.
Which I feel like he won, but I'll have to go check. A draw, a win, and then a loss. But interestingly enough, he did win the BKFC Heavyweight Championship in his one win.
In his one win, and sometimes that's all it takes. Rusted Shield. More Pico. I think, yeah, so I think then for predictions, main event, I'm going Whittaker. Co-main event, I'm going Close. And then next, I'm going Chase Sherman. What about you?
If Gastelum manages to pull off a win against Whittaker,
I really hope he doesn't, though.
For him, and he does tend to randomly pull out intense wins out of nowhere.
I know. I'm so worried. I don't want him to do that.
I don't want him to either, but
he's due for one, right?
I'm surprised if he somehow manages to beat Whittaker and puts his name in the picture, and then immediately loses the rematch to Adesanya.
Yeah, I know. I'm hoping that he got his lucky win against Ian Heinisch, because I didn't really like. That was a close fight. But yeah, I'm worried that he has one of those rare, outstanding performances that he tends to do inconsistently. And it happens at Whittaker's expense. I hope not, though.
Really don't want my boy Whittaker to lose.
Me neither. I'm still pulling for Whittaker.
What is
Ooh,
that?
reverse Rowlet. And then behind it, I'm going to predict a trainer card. Nope. Non-holo Manaphy. But still, I like the Manaphy artwork.
Are we 3 or 4 in?
I think we're 4 because I've got 1 pack left.
Heartbreaking. Well, you want to hear the 4th fight in the card?
Yeah, sure.
It's Abdul Razak Al Hassan.
Oh, yeah, against like Jacob Malhoun or something like that. Yeah. Hassan is going to win that one pretty handedly.
I don't know, man. Feels like something's like... Hassan was just all first round wins, all power, and once he had that first loss, feels like he kind of lost the... You know when there's an undefeated fighter going on a tear and especially finishing people in early rounds?
He went through some legal personal drama that I'm not going to get into, but is worth Googling that might have contributed to... I'm going to give him a freebie. I'm going to give him a pass.
Fair enough. And then next up is Luis Pena versus Alex Munoz. Which...
Oh yeah, Violent Bob Ross.
I do love the Violent Bob Ross as a nickname, but they keep making him massive favorites, and then he keeps losing the fight.
Yeah, he hasn't been that impressive, so I'm not going to bank money on him, to be honest. But he's probably due for a win, but I don't think he has much of a scene.
Weird style and just kind of, flash lose seems too much, but he broke my heart after I put $50 on him.
That's all it takes. Thwacky. Weasel. Last pack magic, Shinx.
Come on, Charizard!
Coughing. Trapinch. Rowlet. Ooh!
What is... Oh, is that...
Yeah, a baby shiny Hatchrim. I don't think I have this one. I think I've got the Hatterini, so it's nice to get another one part of the evolution line. And then behind it, ooh, Morpeko V.
Nice.
That's a fun one. So a lot of hits in this box.
Totally.
The Morpeko V, Hatchrim, so far.
Mm-hmm.
The Galarian Darmanitan. And the shiny VMAX Grimmsnarl, which is an awesome pull. We'll check out the centering. It's a little off top to bottom, a little fat on the top, but left to right seems okay. I don't see any marks or dinks or anything on the card. I'm trying not to touch the foiling and get any fingerprints too much on it. Corners look good. Looks like a good condition card. A little off center, top to bottom, but otherwise...
Let's hope we get a sneaky 10 on that one.
Yeah. I will definitely sleeve that one up. Alright, so... For overall Fight Night predictions for Saturday... Jake Paul versus Ben Askren. Hoping for a finish. But think I'm personally going with Ben Askren. What about you?
Oh, I mean, I definitely want Askren. I really hope he pulls it out. But again, if Paul wins, I'll get on board.
But who do you think? We're going to do a quick gun to the head for the Jake Paul, Ben Askren. Who do you think wins?
I mean, I feel like you have to give Askren the favorite. And I don't think he even is right now, to be honest.
All right, so Askren.
Check those odds.
Askren by... Let's just do quick predictions on who you think's going to win and outcome. I'm thinking Ben Askren, TKO. What about you?
Yep.
All right.
For sure. Agree.
Then what about main event, Whittaker versus Gastelum?
Oof. I think Whittaker pulls off a decision.
Yeah, I'm saying 5-round decision for Whittaker as well. Jakar Close versus Jeremy Stevens. I'm saying 3-round decision for Close. What about you?
I think Stevens gets finished.
Okay, interesting. What round?
I think it gets finished TKO, and I think it's second or third. I'll go second.
Nice. And then Andre Arlovsky versus Chase Sherman. I'm going to say Chase Sherman, third round I'm going to say third round TKO. What about you?
I'll take Sherman in the second with
Nice.
the TKO.
All right, and then
I'll put him out with an elbow, to be honest. That's what I'm sort of seeing.
I like it. All right, so then we're going to recap on Sunday after the fights, and I'm going to do the last 5 packs of this ETB, and we're going to compare what happens in the predictions, and we'll see what the rest of the pull rates in the box are.
Totally.
All right.